Good afternoon, Martinsville Artesians. Thank you for joining us virtually as we highlight important information for the 2020-2021 school year. My name is Misty DeRito, principal of Martinsville High School. I'm so excited to join the Artesian family. It is an unprecedented time for education, but we are extremely proud of the hard work and adaptations that our educators and students have shown as we prepare for virtual and in-person learning. Later in this video, you'll meet our assistant principals, Ryan Wagner and Brian Duggar, as well as our dean, Sarah Basham. We are so excited to kick off the school year with each of you. In addition to the administration team, there will be key people who will help make this school year a success, whether we are virtual or learning in person. In addition to the teachers, our school counselors, Mrs. Lund, Mrs. Presley, Ms. Scroy, and Mr. Hiles, will be able to help and support our learners and guide you to useful resources as high school students. During this video, Mr. Wagner will review important COVID-related expectations. Mr. Duggar will help you navigate the calendar to ensure you understand what classes you will be attending when you are learning virtually and in person. And Mrs. Basham will prepare you with information about attendance and grading for the school year. As we kick off the week, you'll be familiarizing yourself with Google Classroom and your course load. Next Monday, you'll begin virtual instruction for red days, periods 1, 2, and 4 on your schedule. Period 3 is RD hour, and you will not have assignments virtually for RD hour. It is important that students are checking email and Google Classroom frequently. If you need assistance, students can email their teachers and join scheduled office hours that will occur daily between the hours of 12:30 and 2:30 for tutoring and reteaching as needed. This link will be sent out on Friday by department. Additionally, families should watch for district-wide and school-based communication for any upcoming changes that may occur. We can't wait to see you in person as we phase in our entry for the school year. Have a wonderful start to virtual learning, and we can't wait to see you.
Hey Artesians, Mr. Wagner, assistant principal here, and I want to first of all just say that we are excited for the start of the school year and even more excited for the day, hopefully soon, that we can have students come back to school, and we hope that that day comes very soon. And I just wanted to talk to you very briefly here about on that day when students do return to school, some of the protocols that we will be implementing here at the high school to ensure that we keep everyone as safe as possible. And the first thing actually starts at home in the morning before you come to school. We need all students to make sure they are being pre-screened before they come into school every day. That involves having your temperature taken to make sure you don't have a fever, and also make sure that students report to their parents if they're feeling any symptoms that could potentially be related to coronavirus. And if there are any symptoms that students are exhibiting in the mornings, we ask that you please keep the students at home and then immediately contact the school office to let us know what's going on. When students are here at school, there's additional measures we'll be implementing. Number one, of course, are the masks, which are going to be required at all times by staff and students, with a few exceptions. One of those would be while you're eating lunch. You will not be required to wear a mask while you're eating. And lunches will take place in the classrooms this year to avoid having large gatherings in our cafeteria eating areas. Another exception would be if you have a medical exemption from a doctor, as in like a doctor's note, stating that the doctor does not suggest that you wear a mask at all times during the school day. Those individuals would also be exempt from having to wear a mask at all times. Next is our social distancing. Once again, just making sure that you are keeping as much distance as possible between you and the other students. In our classrooms, we have spaced out our desks as much as we possibly can to try to maximize the spacing between students. And just as I said before, lunches will be in classrooms now instead of in the large eating areas that we normally would have students eat, like the cafeteria and the well and such. Another thing we've implemented for this year to try to, again, keep the spacing is students will be allowed to wear backpacks and take them to their classrooms this year. And that is so that they don't have to visit their lockers in between classes, which will, again, hopefully keep from there being large gathering of students at the lockers during the passing periods. So once again, students, you'll be allowed to take backpacks into your classes this year, and that is so that you don't have to use your lockers in between classes. We also asked that parents that if you have a child that tests positive or that you are keeping home because of a family member that tests positive or anything of that nature, please communicate that with our front office here at the high school so that we can make sure we get that recorded in their attendance and also take any other precautionary measures that we need to for anyone else that may have come into contact with your child, that we need to make sure that they're notified as well if that's the case. Lastly, if you have any additional questions about the different coronavirus protocols or safety plans or things of that nature that are being implemented either here at the high school or across the district, I encourage you to go to the msdmartinsville.org district website and take a look at the back to school plan, which lays out all the different things that we're doing across the district to ensure our kids come back to school and we keep everybody as safe as possible. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you here hopefully very soon, and take care.
Hey everybody, this is Brian Duggar. I'm new assistant principal here at Martinsville High School. Super excited to get going, and it's been a pleasure to meet some of you. I can't wait to interact and get back to some normalcy and get in the classrooms and kind of see you guys do what you're great at. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about our calendar here a little bit and kind of talk about what that's going to look like, and kind of go through what red, yellow, and green looks like with our red and blue days. All right, guys. So when we talk about our calendar here, we got to look at it from a couple different perspectives. The first thing we have to look at is blue days, thinking of red days as periods 1, 2, 3, and 4, and looking at our blue days as periods 5, 6, 7, and 8. We also have to look at it from the phases as far as our district being in red phase, which is all e-learning, yellow phase, which is our cohorts where half of our students will be at home and half of our students will be in the classroom, and then our green phase where everyone will be in the building. So kind of looking at this calendar, our goal was to create a balance of what the CEC is looking for with contact tracing and helping us in any type of positive case, but also helping with instruction and really taking the input from the department heads and putting together a schedule that was best suited to accomplish both of those. So the first 2 days, as you guys know, on the 13th and 14th of August, we'll be working in red-blue, where all 6 classes, all of your red classes, all of your blue classes will meet and do something that has been created by Adam Peterson and the district as far as an introductory and kind of access to different Google Classrooms and codes and all those things that you're going to use to kind of be successful. Then on the 17th and 18th, we've created a red and a blue day, and that is designed to kind of get us on a schedule from that point on, because we're going to kind of have to change our thinking a little bit with these e-learning days on Wednesday, and the goal being that we want you to think of not as the week from Monday through Friday, but we want you to think of it from a Thursday through Wednesday. And meaning we want you to look at it as Thursday and Friday blue days are going to be followed by e-learning that Wednesday, but the red days will be Monday, Tuesday, and their e-learning will be on Wednesday. So rather than have the e-learning in the middle of the week, think of e-learning as the end of that cycle with those classes. So if you look at it from days of instruction, so starting here on this red day, this would be lesson 1. Blue lesson would be blue lesson 1. Then on the 20th, that would be your second blue lesson. The 21st would be your third blue lesson. Back to red, which would be red 2, and then your red third lesson on the 25th, and then those would be followed by an e-learning. Then you would start your third and fourth lessons for your blue your blue classes on the 27th and 28th. So it's just kind of changing your thinking to understand that we'd rather the e-learning fall at the end of the week than in between the 2 courses. And that was kind of talked about heavily with the department heads, and they favored the idea of doing it that way versus having to split up and do 2 different lessons. Now, when we get into yellow phase, where half of our kids are here, this is where things get a little tricky, because on that first day, red day on the 31st, and on the September 1st, half of the students in the building are not going to be here. So your red classes will meet, but only half of them will be here. So cohort A, which will be divided up by last name, so say A through L, A through M, will meet in cohort A, and then the other half of the alphabet would meet in cohort B. So the way to kind of view the yellow days, or to kind of look at them from a standpoint of, you should kind of look at giving it a virtual lesson still, but using to understanding that half your kids are going to be in class for help, the other half of those kids are going to be at home doing the exact same lesson. Okay, so you're going to want to kind of create, rather than 2 different lessons, you're going to probably want to create one lesson where some of the kids you can walk through in class, but also have access and the ability to help those at home as you're doing it. Then on Thursday, Friday, the blue classes will meet with cohort B and do the exact same thing. The one wrinkle in the schedule with the yellow is we're going to have to flip for a short period, the blue and the red days. That way you actually get to see cohort A in the blue classes, and the red classes can see cohort B. The same idea, but that just gets us in the idea as far as, or it gets us to see our students, and everyone can get to meet and kind of greet and kind of set some expectations with all those kids that are going to be in class. After that, we return to green on September 14th, and that's where our red e-learning, blue kicks in. And again, it's important to think of it that we're going to be ending the week. Even though we do this kind of weird thing here with the yellow, it's still the same number of days of instruction. So if you go through and count them, even though you'll have 4 blue days in a row and 4 red days in a row, you're still on the exact same amount of days. And then you have that e-learning to kind of end it. And then we'd start the blue, red, e-learning, blue, red, e-learning through. That is our current schedule. Obviously, that is subject to change at any given notice from the administration. But that is the route we're going at this time. If there are any questions, please feel free to reach out to the administration, and we'll help answer those questions.
Hello, Martinsville High School students. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Miss Basham. I will be your Dean of Students. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our attendance policy for e-learning. We need to make sure that every single day you are logging on using your Chromebooks to all of your classes and checking in with your teachers. Every teacher will post an attendance question that we need you to answer every day to make sure that you are participating and being an active learner. Attendance questions will be posted no later than 9 a.m. and you will have until 9 p.m. to get those answered. If you do not answer the attendance question, you will be marked absent for that e-learning day. So it's very important that you get on every single class and check with your teacher for their attendance question. The other thing I want to talk to you about is your assignments. You are being graded during this virtual learning process, so please make sure you're completing assignments. If you have questions, reach out to your teachers through email, Google Classroom. We'll have office hours, whatever it is that you can do to reach out to your teachers. We do want to make sure that you know that you can receive a 0 if you do not submit an assignment. This year, late work will be accepted without penalty so that you have a chance to get all of your assignments done and stay on top of your grades in that course. If you have any questions about assignments or late work, make sure you reach out and ask your teacher. I look forward to meeting you in person, hopefully sometime this year. Until then, good luck with your e-learning and let us know how we can support you.